Mental Training 101. And now back to Get Warrior Tough with Andrew and Dutch.
All right, we're back. Dutch and Andrew, Andrew and Dutch. Dutch, let me just say you look so tan and fit today. Spring break is good for you.
I'll allow it.
You sound so handsome on the radio.
Oh, man.
That's so good. I can't wait to see you again, man. I hate it when I'm not in the room with you, man.
Well, I tell you what, we got this date down here in Florida soon, so we'll get to hang out and take care of some business.
Road
pretty
trip.
soon. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Road trip, man. Dutch and Andrew. We should get like a camera, like a GoPro or something, and just film the whole thing, and we'll put it up on Discovery Channel or something, man. On the road with Dutch and Andrew. I think we already have the world according to Dutch, but you know. All right, so listen, guys. Amber J. Tester, the nerd, right? She's our research and development partner, so she's on. And so, hey, Amber, how's it going?
Good, guys. How are you doing? Sounds like you're having a great time.
Yeah, I'm a little cranked up tonight, but that's all right. You know, you're not.
Anyway.
Yeah, you're not getting offended when I called you the nerd, right? Because Dutch is the
No, not at all.
Okay,
I embrace the nerddom.
Yeah, because Dutch is the jock, you're the nerd, and I'm the grunt. So
works well. All
right.
Yeah. So I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. So mental toughness, right? A lot of people don't really understand what it means, and I'm just sitting here thinking about it. It really sounds like it's just willpower. Is this process that you're talking about, is it just to build willpower?
Wow, that is a really great question. I'm so glad you brought that up. Okay, so yeah, willpower, and again, here you go, here's the controversy, right? Willpower is a complete waste, and everybody that has ever tried to do something with willpower and knows that it only worked for a couple weeks, you know what I'm talking about. Willpower, you lose every single time. And people, they think there's some kind of elusive secret. The secret to this whole thing is that willpower does not work. It's a very short-term Band-Aid. Okay, so what we understand about the 11 million bits of information that we take in and only 126 bits going to our conscious mind for action. When you're using willpower, what you're doing is trying to take that 126 and fight off all the autopilot programming and the other 10.9 million bits per second. So who's going to win that fight? 126 versus 10.9 million. You cannot withstand that for very long. So that's why willpower always fails. Does that make sense?
Yeah, let me put it in another perspective. I don't believe in willpower. I believe in skill power. That's it. When you're talking about acquiring a skill, when you go through the Get Warrior Tough culture, you acquire skills. You acquire a particular set of skills that helps you get through life, dealing with difficult situations, difficult people, advance your emotional intelligence or increasing it. This is skill power. This isn't willpower. There's plenty of people who are out there who would be very willing and able to do whatever it is you ask them to do if they knew what they were doing. So you don't have the skill set. It's not about will. It's about the skill.
Yeah.
So we provide you with the skill, and that overrides the will.
I love that. I'm writing that down, Dutch. I'm writing that down.
I don't need will. I need skill. And when you're trained,
that's a great point.
It doesn't matter how much you want it. It's that I know how to do it, and you don't know how to do it. So I would take skill, and then I'll think about applying will to skill. But if you don't have the skill power, it doesn't matter what your willpower is.
Right, and let me pivot off that. So the skill that we're building is that autopilot meta program. And I'll just take weight loss, for instance, because a lot of people struggle with that. They try to willpower, and that's why the diets don't work, because they run out of willpower. Okay, so what we do in the Warrior Tough culture, in the Get Warrior Tough process, and you guys could get this on the website, there's Gladiator Training for Weight Loss. It'll walk you through this path in 12 lessons, okay, self-paced. But what we do is we build that autopilot meta program. We change your thinking. We change your beliefs, whether we're going into there to change your attitudes and your opinions about yourself and about nutrition and about fitness and about health. And once you change that, then that's the skills that you can apply. And it's like driving the car, like Dutch and I were talking about before. It's not herky-jerky. Willpower is all herky-jerky because you're trying to use that little stream of consciousness against that giant machine of the human brain that's 10.9 non-conscious autopilot meta programs. So willpower is always going to lose. I love the skill power. I wrote it down, Dutch. I think that's a beautiful way to put it, brother.
I tell you, and I've never really been asked that question. So hearing that question made me come with that from the top of my head, because it's just how I feel. So I really believe in that. I don't believe in this you know, I don't believe in things like motivational speaking and all that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to speak to me, give me something. You know, don't just give me something that's going to last a couple hours for this game, and then on Monday after the game's over, I'm dealing with something in my life that if you gave me something, I could then apply it to that. But by Monday morning, I forgot about what happened on Saturday when you motivated me for that 2-hour period with the Get Warrior Tough culture. You walk away with stuff that you're going to apply to every aspect of your life, whether it be professional, personal, private, anything, your spiritual life, anything. It's going to be a tool or a skill that's added to you into your life that's going to help advance you, not some guy who came in and got you amped up and got your adrenaline flowing, and then all of it came crashing down 2 hours later after the game was over.
Yeah, you know, and I had a radio producer ask me that today. You guys know we're rolling out like a big radio campaign for the book, and we have a PR firm, and we're going to be in like the top 35 markets and all that. So I was talking to a radio producer today, and he's like, "Your guys, I'm looking at this stuff, and it really could be applied in any area of life, in any field." And I'm like, yeah, it really can. I said, that is our, you know, what our challenge is at Get Warrior Tough. And Amber, you could probably speak to this, but is to try to narrow the message down enough for people to grab onto. And then what happens is it mushrooms throughout the rest of their life and every other area of life.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. It's impossible to narrow down, really. It just depends on who you're talking to and what the context is. That's the only time we really get to narrow it down is, okay, what's your specific issue, right? What do you want to work on? And that's when you can get down into specifics.
Right, and then it just mushrooms, right? I mean, it goes in. I mean, it's almost like it's like a good kind of cancer, because it'll take over every area of your life in a great way, though. It'll fix a lot of stuff when you weren't even thinking that it was going to fix that thing.
Well, you know, when you're talking about the CEO of you, you know, it says it in the title. It's clearly about you. So everything grows from that, right? If I teach you right now to be a better football player, and I don't start with you, you only become a better football player. If I teach you how to become a better you're going to become a better football player. Because everything that we teach in the warrior culture, from preparation and everything, it's going to make you become a better football player. But if I just teach you how to become a better football player, that's not going to make you become a better you. It's not going to make you become a better person.
Right.
It's not going to make you become anything better than a better football player. But when you go through our program, you're going to be on your way to become the better everything, every part of you, every aspect of you, because the root cause of everything is you.
And back to our original, right? You are the problem and you're the solution. It's the truth. I mean, that's what we do. We do root causes, man. We are not about Band-Aids on bullet holes. I'm not trying to make the noise stop. You know, that's another pet peeve of mine, where corporations, I have like executives, I mean, EVPs and CEOs tell me, "Oh, Andrew, we just want to make the noise stop." Like, what? Then don't call me, right? Go get some earplugs, man.
Amen.
Anyway, you got anything else for us, Amber?
I've got a quick follow-up to that. So I really love the skill power piece. That it makes so much sense.
We need to get T-shirts. It ain't willpower, it's skill power, D. Dutch Coleman.
And this whole idea that we're teaching people how to implement processes that can be physically worked out, walked out, talked out, written out, whatever it needs to be for them to get a hold of it. Now, I hear a lot in all of my research and everything, there's all kinds of information out there about how long it takes to build a habit, right? The 21-day thing, the 60-day thing. We actually offer our 12-week programs, 90 days. So how long does it really take?
My answer is it takes one time. And this is what I'll say, right? So I'll just kind of cue it up like we're in like my corporate trainings. If we do a 2-day training, and I'll say this because on day one, everybody sits in a seat. I said, here's how a habit is one time, right? You get comfortable that fast, because where's everybody going to sit tomorrow? And they all sit in the same seat. I've even had groups say that they were going to switch seats just to mess with me the second day, but they still ended up in the same seat. Like they couldn't help themselves. And it's like, have you ever been, Dutch, has anybody ever sat in your seat at church? You know what I'm talking about? Like, man,
right, no.
Don't be sitting in my seat at church, right? How about in your parking spot at work, right? So your name ain't on it, but someone parked in your spot at work, right? So it only takes one time. And I take advantage of that because we are creatures of comfort. We love to be comfortable, and and we get comfortable very fast. So that it could be detrimental, but it could also be good. I see this when people struggle with weight loss. They have one day as a cheat day, now they get comfortable with that. That turns into I don't see them again for 6 months working out, right? But we could just flip that and have one good day and turn that into that's the rest of your life. You just eat good. I mean, that's how fast it works.
Yeah, I always say one time sounds awfully like want time. One time.
Yeah.
When it's one time, when you want it, it becomes real. When you want something, it becomes real. My dad used to always say, when stuff is easier when you want to do it. When you want in school, when you're told you got to learn something in school, it's so hard to learn it. But you listen to that song on the radio, you know it after listening to it one time. You wanted to learn the song on the radio, and you learned that sucker.
If only they made physics as easy as the theme song to the Flintstones. Flintstones, meet the Flint. Now you guys will never get that out of your head for the next hour, unless I started singing Gilligan's Island. I see. It's just that fast. That's how the machine works. You'll pick up and latch onto something that fast. Just sit right back and I'll hear a tale. See, I mean, that's how fast the machine works, man. I'm with you on that.
I'm endorsing one time. One time. You can spell it ONE, one time, or you can spell it WANTIME. Make it one word, one time. Dude, one time. That's when it's ready to go one time.
Is this like the Dutch Coleman T-shirt episode? We're just making a bunch of T-shirts.
I've written all of them down, too.
It's one time. It's one time. Get Wear Tough coffee mug. All right. That's... Oh, man. All right. What else? Is that it, Amber? Did that answer?
That really helped.
Yeah. And I mean,
really
I'm all about the process. I love it. I love having a duplicatable process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just helps a lot with that whole, when you talk about autopilot and meta programming, it sounds like a really long, how long is this going to take? How long do I have to trudge through? But if you just change your perspective and you do it one time, that can really be all the stuff that matters.
Or one time, if you do it one time.
If you do it one time.
Can I get a one time? Oh, that's awesome. All right, Amber. Well, I'm so glad you called in. This was fun.
30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we'll talk to you again next week. Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
all right, Dutch, this is totally fun, but we're up on a break again, man. We're coming up on the last segment. I'm having a great time. I love all your T-shirts, logos, and slogans and coffee mug things. It's really cool. But so we'll be right back. You're listening to Get Warrior Tough Radio Show with Dutch Coleman and Andrew Wittman.